It's cold out, Ron.
It's cold. And I just put my coat on 2 minutes ago. I was freezing.
Freezing outside. 25 degrees.
You guys are just probably so busy trying to get all this stuff done for Christmas.
Actually, you know what? It's not too bad this year.
Really?
Yeah, we got. I did a little shopping yesterday in between appointments, but
My kids have finally got to that money stage.
yeah, just give me some money.
Yeah, you know, you know what? They were always good even when they were young, though.
Yeah, so were mine, Rob. They were like,
No.
they didn't kill me. I wasn't one of those mothers either that stood in line for toys in the middle of the night. I never did. I'm not doing that. You're crazy.
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, you know, you think about doing all that.
Yeah, I always thought that was crazy. My parents never did it.
For today will be mainly cloudy, not as cold as yesterday, with a high of 39. See a few breaks of sun. Tonight cloudy, a little snow at times, mainly early, little accumulation, low
Okay,
25.
here we go, guys.
Tomorrow flurry in the morning, then partly sunny 36. Snow returns late Monday, high 39. For AccuWeather, I'm Bill Degger on News Radio 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Property Divas LLC. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio 1020 KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and the shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on the voice of Pittsburgh. News Radio 1020 KDKA.
All right, she is the Pittsburgh property diva, Lauren Kline, over $100 million in sales. Coldwell banker Murraysville, her husband Chris Kline is here, streaming live right now on their Facebook page, Pittsburgh Property Diva. Her phone number is 412-628-8286. But listen, we have really started to captivate the audience with the topic of real estate in recent weeks since she came on board. And I'd like to let all of you know, if you need some free legal advice, you need to call a lawyer, right? But if you need free real estate advice, you call her. You get it? It's that simple. And if you need a doctor to help you, well, you know what you do next, okay? But in the meantime, this is all about real estate. So 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. You can text me at that number if you want, and I'll relay the message to her. But anything about real estate, it's free advice. It's just something like actually listing a house, or you're looking to buy a house, you can call right now and leave your name and number at 412-628-8286. We'll talk about the ugly sweater event as we begin today. It's a fashion statement that everybody likes to make during the holiday season. So tell me about what's happening Thursday, and good morning.
I'm excited, Rob. Glad to be here. Thank you. Okay, so on Thursday night, I got invited to be in the ugly sweater fashion show, and I don't have an ugly sweater, so
But you will have.
I'm trying to round one up before Thursday night. But it's a benefit, and Heinz Ward will be there, and table 87 is the location. Oh, 87.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I don't watch sports.
Hey, I'm a little slow on the draw
busy
today,
on
too.
Sundays, okay? I'm out selling houses.
Hey, but let me give you a
Sundays.
suggestion, only because they're looking for sweaters that were classic sweaters like 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Go to a Goodwill or a Salvation Army. They have the best selection of these
That's
sweaters.
what I hear. That's what I hear.
In fact, that's what I'm wearing right now. As a matter of fact, all my clothes, wardrobe provided by Salvation Army. I absolutely love it.
Table 86.
I love
Okay.
it. I love
I'm
what they
gonna have
do.
to remember that.
We will remember that. But if you're looking for that, that's where you go. All right, now, I want to talk to you about picking the right agent, because that's the biggest hurdle that you have to get over to get it done. So talk to me a little bit about what you need to do and the steps that you need to go through to make sure that you have the right fit for what you're trying to accomplish.
Picking the right agent is like picking the right spouse, I think, because the relationship is not, it's not short, okay? It's a long relationship, depending on how long it takes you to get your house
What's
on
the
the
shelf
market.
life? How long does that usually last?
Well, from start to finish, we want it to be as quick and painless as possible, but you never know how long that house is going to be on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So you better pick somebody that you can relate to, somebody that answers the phone, calls you back, emails you back, and knows what they're doing. So you never know how long the relationship is going to last. You want somebody who is in the area where you live, okay,
Right.
in that vicinity, west, okay. We all put ourselves in special areas so that we can service our clients accordingly and quickly. But picking the right agent is sometimes a referral from a friend, from a neighbor, from a relative, and you want to make sure that that right person jives with what your goals are and listens to you and has an idea of what the objectives are for that sale. And a lot of times people they'll just pick anybody. They'll call a broker, and whoever answers the phone,
Good enough.
that's good enough. And a lot of times it's not good enough. You want to do some research. You want to do a little background search, see where this agent does the majority of their business, what kind of experience they have, how many
Is that
sales.
that important experience? Because listen, I understand.
think it is.
But knowing you, your personality, I got to believe right on the launching pad you were ready. You know what I mean? Because obviously your dad and what you have learned. But would you say that at least someone with a few years experience for anybody? Because if that's the case, then how does somebody new learn, or do they just have to learn before they're ready to leap?
Well, you're learning while you're listing and selling. And truth is, I still learn every day. I have new clients with new circumstances and new objectives that I have to meet. So it's constant learning, and there's new rules that come out all the time and new forms that come out all the time. But as far as experience goes, you want somebody, if they're a newer agent, are they being mentored by somebody? Do they have some help to guide them in the right direction? That's important to know. A lot of people just get into the business, I think, because they think it's easy money and they can do it on the side. And, you know, I would want a full-time agent.
I think in today's day and age, I don't know if you can do this part-time anymore.
A lot of people try to, and they don't sell a lot of houses, and they get referrals from their friends and their family and sell a couple houses a year, and that's okay. Most of them know what they're doing, but I would say do your homework when it comes to picking a real estate agent. Just don't pick up the phone and take anybody on the other end of the line.
The more sales you make, it's good for your pocketbook, but it also gives you much needed experience too, right?
It sure does, and there are so many facets of a real estate transaction. It's not just going out and unlocking doors.
You know, one of the things that I like to try to do on this show from time to time, and I'm going to throw it out there, if you are looking for a house and you're in the Pittsburgh metro, you know what I mean, especially in the eastern part of the city, and this is the type of house you're looking for. If you want to call the show today and ask her what's out there, does she know what you can do, what's that neighborhood like, that area, we'd love to hear from you today. We really want to try to bring you, the client, directly to the source, and it is Lauren Kline, Pittsburgh Property Diva, Coldwell Banker, a great name, historic, iconic name, and she has been doing it for a very long time. So the number here is 866-391-1020. If you want to call her directly, you can do that too, 412-628-8286. Another thing too, just not have to do it this week, but like suggestions for housewarming, for gifts for people that have just bought a house, and especially if it's Christmas time, because I think you do like to shop a little bit.
I do like to shop a lot.
It's therapeutic for those of us who, I used to shop a lot, but I used to actually find it therapeutic when I did it. You know
I do too. Even if I don't buy anything, I still like to go shop.
Me too.
And yes, well, holiday season's coming around the bend, and we can talk about housewarming gifts anytime.
We're going to come back. Lots more to get to. And again, the phone number is 866-391-1020. You need some real estate advice. This is the show. She's here every Saturday. She's the Pittsburgh Property Diva. She is Lauren Kline on KDKA. Good morning.
Is your station for severe weather information.
I had a flash of Marty Gefsky when I did that. I think about him every time when I begin this show.
Marty's such a nice guy.
He is. He really is.
And he would sit behind that big, long desk, you know, at closings.
His little Hanukkah's coming up.
Yeah, so sweet. I'm still really hammered around about this no Wi-Fi on the computer.
I don't know why they don't have it.
No, it's I think it's my computer.
We're having all kinds of technical issues today. We're still live, by the way.
Grinding my gears.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
This is the behind the.
So I had a friend who was thinking, good, because, you know, I don't have that much. I mean, I'm in my cold basement, so he buys me this thing, and it's like so big. It's like, I look like Arnold, I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What is it? Oh, your sweatshirt?
Yeah, he
on.
bought the thing so big. Well, because I'm like freezing in my house.
Yeah.
I think they were tired of me pitching. He said, here, just Dig that.
You don't want to turn the heat up.
No,
68.
60.
60.
I just turned. I didn't put it on at all last winter.
Holy hell, that's cold.
It was. Hey, trust me, I have learned.
I mean,
Holy hell.
I thought she kept it
Yeah,
low. She's like,
You were laughing
68.
about me not turning the heat on last winter. I mean, I've become a miser in my life. Get off the lawn, you know. I set it at 60 though right now, so that's like a heat wave.
Oh.
Next thing on the hardware show, how do you take
I hope you
care
have
of
an
frozen
electric
pipes?
blanket.
No, you know, I'm good. I'm good. But you know, I tell you, when I was a kid growing up, my grandmother, God rest her soul, had this big house in New Brighton. You know, one of them just old homes from the 30s that I absolutely love. Hardwood everything, okay? Even kitchen countertops were hardwood. But she never turned the heat on because you'd have to go in the basement. This is long before your time.
Put the coal in.
Right. And it was like, you cold, put more clothes on.
Right.
So you basically walked around the house looking like Nanook of the North. You know what I mean? You know, the Michelin tire man. You know,
I told you, my dad we didn't turn the heat on until Thanksgiving. That was the rule.
your dad's smart. See, your dad and I would get along great.
Yeah, he is smart.
No, I tell you, it's because you know, and I'll tell you, the much more efficient houses today. But back then, the insulation, it's just like went right outside. You know
They
what I'm
have so
saying?
many cool things too. The Nest.
Yeah,
The Nest that you can control from your phone.
I know.
It's coming.
Turn your heat up,
Yeah.
turn your heat down, turn your air conditioner on, turn your lights on.
It is pretty cool.
It's
All that
super
stuff.
cool.
How you
Techie people.
You learning about all this stuff as you move along in this great.
Yeah, I mean, every time you go to a house, you see something handy,
Well, you got
dandy,
this,
new.
you got this geek over here. Your
He-
husband, he loves it. I bet.
Any piece of electronics ends
Yeah.
up on our doorstep.
There's electronics still in boxes. I haven't
Yeah.
even
There you
unboxed
go.
yet.
Well, I tell you, I like what he does, and I hope you'll check out what they are doing on their Facebook page. Let's go to Paul in Mars for the Pittsburgh Property Diva. We're going to get her plugged in with her headphones in just a moment. But I just want everyone to know that if you want to call in and be a part of the show,
Where's
we're
my
just so
headphones?
organized today, aren't
You're
we, ladies
busy.
and
I
gentlemen?
can't. I
You're
can't.
busy
It's been one of those days.
talking.
866-391-1020. You ever have one of those nights when you just don't sleep? So I'm like rocking and rolling all night long. So it's been crazy since we got here this morning. But we are ready to get to the phones in just a moment. So let's say hi now to Paul in Mars. Paul, how you doing?
I can't hear Paul.
Well, obviously, I'm in the Mars area. Property values are fairly high, as you would know, out in this area.
We'll get
Do
it.
you
Box
think
coming.
that they've sort of reached the peak, or do you see these prices or values still escalating into the future?
I think I see them escalating and staying nice and steady. So if you're in that market and you're in your house for a long time, you might have some nice equity built up if you're looking to sell it. And if you're looking to buy, I think the market is very, very competitive right now.
You know, and here's something about Mars which really blows me away. I remember it was just all farm country up there.
Yeah.
There's something, and I think it has to do again with location. School district was always great, but it's just set in a situation where you can be within a half hour just about any part of the city you want to.
Right, you can get to the airport, you can be are going down anytime soon.
All right. Hey, Paul, good call.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you. 866-391-1020. So what makes something really fantastic that was just, you know, nice, but now it's great? What can really make a place become a hot property or a hot area that for the most part just went on for decades as being a nice place to live, but all of a sudden now it is the place to live?
It's all about the businesses coming in and bringing jobs to people, and our universities are cranking out like the smartest people in the country, and we have great hospitals. We're now a foodie town. People come here to eat our food. And I don't think Pittsburgh was a foodie town 10 years ago.
No, but it is
We ate
now.
pierogies.
No, yeah. Nothing wrong with pierogies. But, you know,
No.
and we have some of the best restaurants. The cultural district is truly, I mean, I think a cut above the rest. But I also think having people like Google come here and Facebook come
It's
here,
amazing.
it doesn't hurt, does it?
Doesn't hurt. And we have so many students who work and then stay here in the Pittsburgh area, who graduate from the University of Pittsburgh, Carlow, Chatham, Carnegie Mellon. They're from all over the world coming here. to go to school and learn and stay and get jobs. And that's what makes our city so eclectic and cool.
Well, you know, one of the things that they said too, the reason we have such an exodus from the Silicon Valley coming here, and people are really saying, I want to work for Facebook East or Google East, is because their salary goes a whole lot further in this part of
Goes
the
a
world.
whole lot further. The cost of living here is so much lower than it is in New York, Chicago, LA, all along the West Coast. So you can get a lot of bang for your buck here, and it's just much more affordable.
All right, I want to just talk one more time about, you know, if you're thinking about that February time, which is the spring market. I mean, everybody's into
My
the
favorite time of the year.
You just are
I
like,
love it.
it's like nonstop.
Yep.
What's the most you've ever done in 1 week? You know, when you're hot, and you sell like the best week.
Maybe 10.
How is that possible?
It is.
Is it kind of like a domino? They kind of just all fall at the same time?
Yes, it'll be people that you've been showing houses to or talking with, and everything kind of culminates at once. So you're writing contracts and negotiating and scheduling the inspections and scheduling closings, and you know, and when June rolls around and May, June, maybe the beginning of July, we're wrapping up closings from the spring market. But oh, I love it. It's every day, all day.
Yeah, just because it makes you feel as though, you know what, this is why I got into this business.
Yes, and I see my clients all happy, getting their keys or giving keys and moving on to the next chapter in their life, and it is the most exciting thing to me.
So if you are thinking about that, and listen, there are people right now that they're just saying, you know what, don't put a lot of decorations up, don't do a lot that we have to basically do the work, because come January 1, it's not about New Year's Day, but it's about here we are, this is the year, this is the time, we're moving in a month, we're going to at least put our house up. So you got to get the ball rolling.
You got to get the ball rolling, and I say enjoy the holidays, because once the holidays are over and you are in the market to sell your house, it's going to be kind of a quick process to get that house ready. So enjoy the holidays, decorate your brains out, and you know, but be ready to pack them up that first week of January if you want to hit that spring market hard.
Do you have any advice about the way to properly pack? So when you pack, you unpack that makes sense to where you're not doing triple the work.
I think packing is such an easy way to get yourself organized, and I say room by room, pack it up, organize it, and keep your most important things that you use all the time. Make that the last thing that you pack up. You don't want to pack that first. That's the stuff you use all the time. But the stuff that you don't use, your decorations, get those nail holes. You know, if you have 1,000 pictures on the wall, get the nail holes filled. You know, all this stuff takes time and energy and is usually pretty cheap. It just is your spare time. But packing and getting organized and having everything labeled. Little Billy's room, everything for Little Billy's room is packaged and set aside. And every room in the house. Your kitchen is probably the last thing you want to pack up, because that's where you spend most of your time, unless you're at my house. Because I don't cook.
Is it true you have a drive-through window in your house, is what I want to know?
We have three.
I wish. My microwave gets a lot of action, but that's
But
about
you know
it.
what, though? I'll be honest with you. I like my kitchen just to look the way it looks. Don't put nothing. I've never used my stove.
Don't
In fact,
mess up
no,
my stove.
No, I got
okay,
things
I don't want marks all over my stove, and
It's because you're working all the time.
I work all the
That's
time.
why God made Domino's.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I try not to eat too much pizza, but man,
Yeah, how can you not?
I love to eat out. I love leftovers. But my kitchen, I'd pack that thing up first if I was moving.
I just told your husband this morning, I just said, you know what, I'm going to splurge. I had a piece of Batto's meatball pizza this morning for breakfast, and I got to tell you, it was heavenly.
Was it?
It was heavenly. Hey, when we come back, we're going to pick up on some of the other things that you need to do as far as getting your house ready for sale. But what could somebody give somebody for Christmas that would benefit them for moving, other than a bunch of boxes from a local
a bunch
grocery?
of boxes from the grocery store.
What could you do?
I think if you here's a good one.
Okay.
Offer to help pack.
Like I said,
That's a nice gift.
Any other ideas?
That's a really nice gift that nobody wants to do.
Remember when somebody would say to you when you were young, "Hey, can you help me move this weekend? Do you have a pickup truck?"
Yeah.
It was the only time I was so happy that I worked 16 hours in 2 days.
Right, with no truck.
I'd really like to help you. But, you know, my back goes out more than I do these days. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, and I'll be honest with you. Unless you have no other means, you're best to hire somebody to move your stuff. I don't care if you have a 2-3 bedroom apartment. Moving to me, people... There's a reason why they have professionals out there doing it.
Right, but a lot of people can't afford a mover because they are expensive. But if you can get yourself organized and pack your stuff up, that will make it a whole lot easier when the U-Haul shows up. Like Don Farr, okay?
Good guy.
Yeah. And it's all packed up and organized. The less money you pay them, the time. Okay? So if they have to spend 8 hours at your house packing your stuff up, that's going to be pretty expensive. But if you have it already packed up and ready to go and they load it and unload it for you, you'll save some money.
You know, I met the owner of that many years ago in a bar. We were just chit-chatting, and we got into this thing, and I literally went on for like an hour asking all these questions, and he went, "Boy, you really do love the strangest things, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I mean, I think what you guys do is like absolutely incredible."
It's not easy.
No, I have a friend, Brian Debo's been doing it to his family for generations, and to me, there's a strategy behind it that I just absolutely admire.
I admire it too, and I'm glad I don't have to do it.
No, I'd just like to drive the truck or one of the jumpsuits. Just walk around the jumpsuit, drive the truck.
Supervise.
There you go.
You can supervise.
There you go. That. But I see they carry these grand pianos and all this stuff, and you know, to me, it's. I mean, you really got to know what you're doing.
Well, when you have a house filled with stuff and a lot of furniture, you do need a moving company to come and help you.
All right, listen. Short break. We'll come back. We have another call waiting for her. We'll go to Carl Troy Hill in a moment. But if you have a question for the Pittsburgh Property Diva, that's just free real estate advice. Just a phone call away. We'd love to hear from you. 866-391-1020, or you can call her directly at 412-628-8286. We'll be back. Good morning.
The tradition that's over 60 years strong. KDKA.
Say hi to Tim Quinn.
Hey Tim, morning. How are you?
Stand by, guys.
Some people don't have the chance to fight for their kids, and we do.
Help us to ensure that no child is ever denied medical care because of ability to pay.
It's going to be super normal for us. So.
Yeah.
Join us at
Stand by, guys.
KDKA.com/freecare.
Hey, guess what's happening at Janoski's today? I'm glad you asked. Santa will be at their country restaurant beginning at 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Free pancake and sausage breakfast for kids ages 8 and under with the purchase of any adult meal. So that's happening today. You know, some other things. Thousands, a sea of poinsettias to choose from. Fresh cut trees, wreath, grave blankets and pillows, homegrown potatoes, apples, and cabbage. So please stop out at Janoski's and don't forget their jarred products, applesauce, spaghetti sauce, salsa, peppers, and pickles. Janoski's in Clinton.
Alarm our houses. We alarm our cars. When it comes to your personal information, it can be
I
tough
forgot to
know
say
when
that the
something
Ugly
isn't right.
Sweater
That's where the
fashion
cyber
show
card can
benefits
help.
the
Now,
Free
we'll
Care
send you an
Fund
alert
at
if you find your
Toronto.
social
We'll do it
security
again.
number on
Okay.
any one of thousands of risky websites. And this service is free for card
And
members.
Port
Just sign
Heinz
up
Ward's
online.
Tavern,
Our way of looking at
86,
your
not
needs,
87.
not just your
Did you say that too?
Learn more at
I don't know why I did it. Rick was all over me yesterday because when I was talking to him about it, I kept saying table 87,
80.
table 86,
6.
table 86.
Is it 87 or 86?
It's 80. It's his number.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said, 86.
Yeah.
But I thought I was wrong again.
Okay.
Tavern, 86, not 87.
Yeah. Tell everybody watching about the ugly sweater.
Oh, Ugly Sweater Contest, or it's a fashion show really. All the proceeds benefit Children's Hospital Free Care Fund, and it's Thursday night starting at 6:30 at Heinz Ward's Tavern, 86.
Table 86.
No,
Is it Tavern 86?
it says right here, Tavern, 86.
Okay. Oh my God, I've been calling it table 86.
Okay, it's Tavern.
All right.
And I'll be in the contest. He's too fat to wear that sweater.
530 North Point Circle.
That's me too, man.
Oh,
Seven
God,
Fields
it's
Cranberry.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know, I remember my dad would never find pants to fit. And I'd laugh and go, "Dad, what are you doing?" You know, now it's like, I get it, man. I get it all.
He spoke last night in Pensacola.
Oh man.
Life.
Tell you what.
Putting that tree up, my mom and him would be going back and forth, to the left, to the left, to the right.
To the left, to the right.
I'm not moving this tree again.
When did he put the tree? When did your mom put the tree
We always
up?
did it. We did. You know what? Later in life, they did it around Thanksgiving. And you know, right about probably the first week in December. My parents, God bless them, they went so above and beyond taking care of their kids. They were such better parents than I ever will be.
Yeah.
They were the best. I mean, the baking, the cookies, my mother cleaning the house, the fresh garland, fresh.
I know.
I mean, and the stockings.
They really did give it like 200%.
Well, that's what I thought life was going to be. Nice to meet you. You'll be my mother. No. Sorry.
Nice to meet you.
Goodbye.
You'll be my mother.
My mother didn't leave me. Why? I just did. You know.
Oh my God, that was precious.
Why is that? Because you don't have a scalpel in your hand and you're not driving a Mercedes. So it's usually sketchy. I go, I'm never going to be able to hone that. I know. That's why I'm working nights. Not to make more money, but because I met someone.
I met someone.
He took a turn for the nurse.
Oh man.
I used to tell people I'd come home and go, hello, 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 and everything was 10 times just all gone. Ice cube tray in the sink.
Oh,
So then I'd hire someone to slap white paint on the walls, get a beanbag chair and a case of beer and start over.
The beanbag chair is key.
Yeah.
The beanbag chair is key. Oh my goodness.
I grew up in this last house too, and I thought that too, and I'm like, there's something wrong with this. Yeah, you know, you think my parents gave me such a good life. I thought life was going to be that way.
Think you can't afford dental coverage? Think again. Protect your smile with an affordable individual.
You know, I look back, they didn't have anything. I mean, my dad had money later in life when we were growing up. We had a nice little
My
ranch
mom and dad
house.
always wanted to think us to think we were poor, so we didn't ask for anything.
I know. Before you ask.
Yeah, but if I wanted $5, I had to scrub the baseboards.
You know what though?
There were no handouts.
You did it.
I did it.
You were a good kid. You cared about your parents.
Yeah.
20 milligrams for $2 per tablet.
It's going to be like, we'd like to stay, Dad, but little Eva's got a recital. We have to leave. I'll be there. They'll come and see me every year for 5 minutes. The orderlies will beat me with rubber hoses. I don't even care where this is going right now. I know.
That's obvious.
Life's too short, man. You know, kids just don't have that. Listen, my dad called me even before he died. Hello? Like,
Yeah.
call me back. I'd walk out of an office meeting. My dad never took second fiddle. Neither did my mother.
No.
My mother called me every day at 3 in the morning on the way to work. Every day for 20 years.
Wow.
My
Just
dad.
to check on you.
Listen, my kids don't. Nobody's even listen to me. None of my family's ever. My mother was the only one.
Bill Denger on NewsRadio 1020 KDKA.
So unselfish. Good people.
Property Divas LLC.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work.
Coming back.
This is Pittsburgh Works on the voice of Pittsburgh.
By the way, the Ugly Sweater event that's coming up on Thursday, it is all to benefit the Free Care Fund at Children's Hospital. You know, we were talking about our parents before we go to this phone call. Can you tell when you have somebody of that generation that they just always have their ducks in a row? I mean, my mom and dad did so much with so little, and I still, to this day, don't understand how they were able to do what they did for us.
I don't know either. And I see a lot of our elderly population living at home. And I got a really super sweet call this week from a girl in North Carolina who's relocating her granny from Penn Hills, Verona area to be with her in North Carolina because she's all up here by herself. So I'm going to go meet with her tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Brock, get her a box of Kleenex. You're going to need it. You know, I mean, for people, and, you know, that's their whole life. You know, and that's...
It's really very sensitive, and you have to...
But you're good at what you do, though.
I try. You have to be very gentle, and, you know, that's somebody's mom, somebody's grandmother,
That's where they
somebody's
saw their
sister.
kids take their first step.
Yeah, they have a lot of sentimental value attached to the house, so it takes some special attention, let's put it that way. But I love those
My next
people.
house, I can see my kids taking me on a tour going, I think we can fit a hospital bed in the living room. This will be fine. You can take it. But isn't that nice how she's handling that, though?
It's super.
Oh, good for you.
Really sweet.
Nice,
really sweet.
Nice story. Okay.
So before I forget,
Yeah.
I want to tell you about the Thursday night,
Okay.
December 14th, Heinz Ward's Tavern 86 in Cranberry for the...
By the way, we called it 87 because we
did.
forgot that he was number 86.
Yeah, well, somebody said 87, so I rolled with it, but it's number 86. And all the proceeds benefit the Free Care Fund at Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh.
That's a good cause.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to Carl in Troy Hill, or on Troy Hill.
Carl.
Hi, Diva.
How are you?
I'm looking to sell my house in Waynesburg. It's probably a little out of your territory.
Waynesburg. He's looking to sell his house in Waynesburg.
Waynesburg. Okay, so what I would say, Carl, is for you to call me on my cell phone and leave me a message so that I'm able to refer you to an agent where you are.
I have it now for sale with my owner.
Okay.
And I have to clear, say, $200,000,
All right.
and I cannot afford the usual real estate agent's commission.
What commission are you paying now?
He's for sale by owner.
I'm not paying any commission at this point.
Well, are you willing to offer a commission to an agent who brings you a buyer?
Well, yes, but it would not be typically what they charge.
Well, it would be half of what they would typically charge if they're only representing one half of the transaction.
Okay, so I need to clear $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
What I need for anything over that would be available for commission fee. And 5 years, 10 years, no, not 10, but 5 years ago, my house in Waynesburg was appraised at $205. And since then, I've put a $10,000 roof on the house and the garage, and the place is beautifully landscaped.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering how I can move this place.
Well, Carl, how are you advertising the property?
Just on the side, the yard side.
Okay, I think that's where you're missing your audience. And you know, if you can't afford to pay commission, it's going to be a struggle for you unless you put it on the multi-list. And there are companies who will put it on the multi-list for you for, you know, $800. But you need some great pictures, and you need to be able to offer at least a buyer agency commission if you're doing a for sale by owner, because the agents are the people that are going to bring viable buyers to your property.
Now, Carl, because I know you've called many times before, so you live in Troy Hill. The house in Waynesburg, is it just a second house, or were you renting it, or what was it a family home at one time? What's the Waynesburg connection?
Waynesburg is where I actually live during the week.
Oh, okay.
It is my primary residence. The Troy Hill house here is a secondary. I come on the weekends. Pittsburgh, I always just come up here and spend my weekends up here.
Okay.
But now I have bought a new house in Grove City. So I am paying 2 mortgages, and I don't like it. But what I need, as I said to the Diva, is I need about 200 clear to pay off both mortgages. It will be mortgage free.
And what do you here's what I wanted to know. When you're showing your house, have you had any showings? You have. Okay. What's the feedback been like? No feedback. Okay. And have you had the home, is it staged? Is it show ready?
Well, yes, and no, I'd say it's semi, it's
What do you have it listed for, Carl? What do you have it listed for? Okay.
Waynesburg's a great community, by the way.
Yes, well, you might want to even reach out to a local realtor just to get their opinion. And that would be my advice. And try and get yourself on the multi list. That's where you're going to get your audience.
All right. Hey, Carl, thanks for the call.
Thanks, Carl.
Always good hearing from you. Carl happens to be a Social Security judge and, getting ready to kind of wind things up. He's a good listener, good caller, and we always glad hearing from him. He brought up a good point. I've often wondered, and you're the professional, and I'm sure you would rather see somebody go with a real estate company, but there are people that know real estate, and there are people that have been able to do it. But I would not recommend selling anything on your own, no matter how much you think you know.
There are so many intricacies to a real estate transaction, and it doesn't, looking at houses is the easy part. Writing the contract, negotiating the contract, getting through all of the contingencies of that contract are time sensitive and can be very, very intense. So unless you have a background in real estate, most people...
Too. Say you're just calling around because you see a property and you get an agent, because they're always in the office, somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of give you the information that you want, and it's not really what you want, or it's already been sold. And they go, let me take your information, let me get your information, but you're not really serious. You're just trying to test the waters. What's your advice? And I mean, this is coming from a person who does this for a living.
I would say just be upfront.
Yeah.
Just be upfront about it. And I have people who call me and say, you know what, Lauren, I would really like to buy a house in the next 6 months. And there's this house I have my eye on, and I really want to see it. My first question is, are you pre-approved? Mm-hmm. And are you in a relationship with another realtor? Okay? Because I'm not going to, there's no poaching of clients. I don't like that, and no good agent will do that, like steal a client from somebody else who's in an active agreement. But if you're upfront about it, it's much easier to build a relationship with a professional if you just say, I'm dying to see this house. I'm not quite ready yet, but I really want to see this house. I might take you to see it.
All right, we're going to come back. We're going to go to Cannonsburg, getting calls from all over the area today with Carol for the Pittsburgh Property Diva. You can reach her directly at 412-628-8286. Don't forget, Pittsburgh Property Diva every Saturday, 8 to 9, pittsburghpropertydiva.com. You can also find her on Facebook as well. We'll be right back. Good morning, everybody. Woo. Yeah, I like Carl. I think he likes to chug a few. That's okay.
Well, hopefully he doesn't
It's a
watch
little
Facebook.
early.
Oh, he knows I always joke with him.
I think he likes to chug a few.
It's a little early.
He's a good guy. He's a really intelligent guy. You know why I say that? Because he belongs to the German club on the north side.
Carl.
He's a good dude, man.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what kind of ugly sweater I get to wear on Thursday.
The best thing to do, I'd go to, I'm telling you, Salvation Army Goodwill.
Yeah. Well, they even said they have ugly sweaters.
Yeah.
So I don't even have to bring my own.
Oh, good.
They can have one set out for me.
You know how many bars do that this time of year, though?
I see it all the time on Facebook. And
you know it's bad when you walk in and March and I go, that's in December.
These sweaters
What do you mean? This is my sweater.
Off the chain.
Huh?
These sweaters are off the chain.
I know. I used to like sweaters. You put me in a sweater now, I'd probably melt. Whew. Here we go, kids. One more segment. Let's have closing costs. All right, Lauren Kline is here. Next hour, Dr. Ray. 11 o'clock, Rita Williams at the brand new Uniontown location, AAA Central. And then we wrap it up with Alan Kaplan and Cohen, Petland, Pittsburgh Mills at noon. Here is Carol in Cannonsburg for the Pittsburgh Property Diva. Good morning, Carol.
Hi, Carol. Well, I'll tell you your closing costs. If you're are you selling or are you buying? You're selling. Okay. So you have a realtor?
Not yet. We're not ready yet.
Okay. So out of your closing costs is going to be the realtor commission, any broker fee, the transfer taxes, depending on the transfer taxes in the area, which I think are 2%, so you're responsible for 50% of the transfer taxes. You're also going to be responsible for the deed prep fee, since you're the seller, and any settlement charges that the settlement company closes to prepare that deed, and the closing documents. You also want to be prepared for your municipal lien letters that the closing company will order for you, any home warranty that you offer your new buyer, and I think that's pretty much it on the seller end of things.
And the buyer has nothing to do with closing costs.
Well, in your negotiations, you may be asked to pay for a portion of the buyer's closing costs, but that's entirely up to you and your agent to negotiate.
I don't understand. Since the seller has to pay the cost, but
You have your own costs to pay as a seller. Okay, so you may be asked from the buyer to pay for a portion of their closing costs as seller assist. Okay?
yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, have a good day, Carol. So, what have we learned this hour today of the Pittsburgh Property Diva when it comes to choosing the right agent?
Well, there's lots of good sites online. Zillow is one of my favorites. If you're doing research on an agent, go on to Zillow.com, that's ZILLOW.com. Every agent has a profile on Zillow, and on the profile it will tell you how many sales they've had in the last year, how many years experience, and there's also reviews on there, and their active listings. So you want to do your research, okay? You can pick up the phone, you can call your neighbor, call your girlfriend or your brother and get a referral, but I would do my own independent research to make sure that I'm connecting with the person that is best suited for what I need to do.
Let me ask you about technology, and we're all for technology. I mean, this is what your husband does. This is what you do all the time. Got some big open houses coming up
I have
tomorrow.
5 open houses tomorrow.
I know.
5 of them.
We're going to talk about that. But do you think sometimes it takes away a little bit of just getting people there to show them, to where they anticipate maybe something that looks really good in a video, to where when they get there it might be a little bit more disappointing? Or do you think that maybe sometimes people should just use that video as a tool, but they still need to go kick the tires and they need to look at the place if they can?
You absolutely need to get in there. You need to smell it. You need to feel it. And there's only so much a picture can tell you, especially when you're shopping for a house. So I would say yes. Look online and do the virtual tours and the Matterports and look at the drone footage and all the photos that are available online. But you really won't know until you step foot in the front door.
All right, we're going to talk about your open houses. How about a drone? Yeah, would you do a flyby over my neighborhood while you're thinking of selling your house? No, I just want to know what my neighbor's
I want to
up
know what my roof looks like.
Right. Hey, is there any one area of Pittsburgh that is especially hot for real estate right now? Always an obvious question. That is a text message for you, Pittsburgh Property Diva.
Well, it depends on what you're looking for and what kind of budget you have, but Lawrenceville is super hot, downtown super hot, Mount Washington, all the areas that are close to the city.
Okay, now let's talk about these open houses that you're so stoked about. Your husband's actually going to be sitting in on one of them.
He is. I have Chris sitting at a new construction in the Brandywine community in Irwin, and that is 704 Creekview Drive in Irwin. I'm going to be in Forest Hills.
Ooh,
So if anybody's in and around Forest Hills from 12 to 2, I'll be at 617 Cascade Road. It is an absolutely gorgeous house. Brand new kitchen, hardwood floors, super charming. And I have 3 others. And you could go to my Facebook page. I won't rattle them off right now, but check out my Facebook page, and my open houses are always listed there.
Okay, the door's open. That's why they call it an open house. Usually some balloons out front. You got a refreshment or two, and you've got that Coldwell Banker sign. But other than that, what should you look for when you go to an open house? Because pretty much it's open for business, and you've been there many times, and you've helped people with the process. But what would you say would be the top 5 things people, or just main things they need to look for?
The main things that you want to look for, I think aesthetically, people are really driven by aesthetics, okay? And kitchens, bathrooms, flooring, lighting, trim work, you know, it's all the aesthetics. And it starts when you roll up on the house. What's the curb appeal like? So if you're selling, think like a buyer and look at your house like you never looked at it before. And how do you feel when you roll up on it? Is it all prim and tuned up and ready to go? Or is it looking a little tired? You need to make a little bit of improvements before you put it on the market. But open houses are a great opportunity to just casually walk through a house and have a cookie and, you know, spend a half hour nebbing around.
Yeah, just eating cookies. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, so and what about people putting their house up for sale, or their house is up for sale right now? How do you tell them to navigate their holiday for their family and also be open for business? That can't be easy.
It is not easy, and I like a lot of notice for my sellers, at least a full day's notice on a house that's occupied, so that family has a full day to get ready for a showing, and, you know, put the laundry away, put the dog food away, get things tidied up a little bit. It is stressful, and holidays, you know, people want to be doing other things other than cleaning their house every other day. But I would say just be patient. Be patient and try to just be as organized as you can, so that when that showing call does come in, you're pretty ready to go.
You know, and one of the other things that people must understand, when you're a real estate professional and you're given the key to someone's house, that really is something of honor, and you have to really respect that.
Yes, you absolutely do. And I try to remind agents when I schedule showings and I hang signs up, and my golly, lock the doors, shut the lights off, okay?
Oh, geez.
No, it happens all the time. Ooh, you get really distracted, and you know, it's happened to me, and I'm super apologetic. And one time I went to show a house, and I ran over somebody's whole solar light system that was all down the side of their driveway. I mean, sometimes things happen.
You thought the first light you would have realized.
Rob, I knocked them all out.
That's okay.
Like,
it
at
happens.
least 8 of them. I ran over every single one of them. But I replaced them all. You know, I called the agent right away. I called the homeowner. I said, "Oh my God,
well, that's
I'm so
when
sorry."
that's when you say, "Look, I thought they had to go if you really wanted to get the best price for the house." So I took it upon myself to take care of the demolition part.
No, you have to be very, very, very courteous and very understanding that this is.
You know, something else too, and this is from my Halloween days. Ask your neighbors if your house smells, because people have certain smells in their house.
It's the truth.
They don't realize, because it's them. It's who they are.
You get used to it after a while.
Right.
And you don't smell it, and you're totally immune to it. You have to ask somebody that you trust to be honest with you, to come in and say, "Tell me if it smells. Does it smell like the broccoli I made yesterday?
Yeah.
Does it smell like my cat?"
Right.
So, yes, that's important.
That's all important.
It is all important.
All right. Best way for them to get a hold of you is 412-628-8286. Tell them again about Table 86, Heinz Ward's Place, Ugly Sweater. It's coming up Thursday to benefit the Free Care Fund.
Free Care Fund. Stop by. It starts at 6:30, and it's going to be a fashion show. I'll be there. Heinz Ward will be there. Somebody said maybe Donnie Iris will be there. Who knows?
I ran into him in Latrobe here a week ago. He's everywhere.
Yeah. So maybe he'll be there. But come out, support the Free Care Fund, and have some fun.
You know, he was a real estate guy.
I know.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. I figured you knew that. I think we talked about that before. Okay, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Please, ladies and gentlemen, as we like to say in the business, don't touch that dial. But if you do, just make sure you touch it again and get back to us as quickly as you can. Stay where you're at.
Every morning, learn the issues.
Yeah, I ran into him at DeSalvo's.
Weekdays 5 to 9.
Where is that? Latrobe, okay. We had our office Christmas party this week at the Nunzio's in Monroeville.
Nice.
Oh, it was so nice.
Really?
It really was. Really nice. I haven't been there for years, and it's right up the street from our house.
Yeah, the food was actually pretty good.
It
pretty
was.
Good. Yeah.
I
thought it was nice. Any food that I don't have to make is good food.
I had my first piece of steak in a year ago. I mean, it's terrible. I just don't have.
I like toast.
Toast.
I eat a ton of toast.
I used to love toast.
Oh man, do I love
toast. If I eat any more,
you can do so much with toast, though.
Yeah.
Be quiet. You like toast.
I do. I just don't have an abnormal obsession with toast.
Peanut butter and toast, butter and cinnamon.
Look, you're only wrecking one appliance, the toaster.
So see, that's their whole reasoning behind it. It's not the toast. It's you just got to go like that, and it's cooked.
I know.
That's
all.
You just pull the toaster out, and then when you're done with the toaster, you just put it away. Counter's clean. You don't have to worry about anything.
I don't know.
There's no prep time with toast.
Rick's telling us there is no Donny Iris.
Aw, dang.
Yeah.
Aw, dang.
You might want to mention that.
Okay, everybody, no Donny Iris.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, he took the time to text me. I think he doesn't want to get in trouble.
Right.
Rick doesn't want to get in trouble.
Okay. People who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on the voice of Pittsburgh.
All right, do you want to say it or do I say it?
Yeah, okay, no Donny Iris, I heard.
He's listing a house. He won't be there.
He's going to be busy.
No. All you have to do is sing on the lawn.
Right.
People would show up and he goes, you want another number? Give me some down payment
That's
money.
right.
You know what I'm saying? All right, listen, before we go, it's always a pleasure. And, I know this is a crazy time of year for everyone. Hanukkah and Christmas just around the bend. Everybody's trying to, get all the packages wrapped, get the decorations up, throw the turkey or ham in the oven, do what they need to do. Make sure they have a spare bedroom for grandma to stay. But, if you need help in what you do, that's why you're here,
You
right?
can call me anytime. It's free to talk with me. It's free to meet with me. And I go on listing appointments all the time, and sometimes it's just to give advice.
Do people ever call just because they're panicking? I mean, they just need some. Their spouse won't listen to them, and
absolutely,
they just need somebody to talk to.
All the time, all the time. So anything real estate related, I'm happy to help. It's free to call me, free to meet with me, and I work 7 days a week.
What's your advice? Because we got to think warmer weather because it's cold today. Swimming pools, good or bad idea?
Pittsburgh, we have 60 days of sun here.
Yeah.
I'm not a pool fan, but anybody who wants a pool, I can find you a house with a pool.
Somebody told me once, you know what you call pool two things in Western Pennsylvania: koi, as in fish, or patio, because you fill it in.
Or patio.
Listen, always a pleasure. Keep up the great work. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible talent of Lauren Kline and her husband, Chris Kline, Pittsburgh property diva, Coldwell banker, Murraysville. She's here every week, 8 until 9 on NewsRadio 1020 KDKA.
Preceding was paid for by Property Divas.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.
Told me once, you know what you call pool two things in Western Pennsylvania: koi, as in fish, or patio, because you fill it in.
Or patio.
Listen, always a pleasure. Keep up the great work. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible talent of Lauren Kline and her husband, Chris Kline, Pittsburgh property diva, Coldwell banker, Murraysville. She's here every week, 8 until 9 on NewsRadio 1020 KDKA.
Preceding was paid for by Property Divas.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.